Hello everyone and welcome back to QuicksaveTV. In this episode of installation of Skyrim Tutorials, we're gonna talk about restoration as a skill, as a magical skill, and of course we're gonna look at some examples and how it can be used even by those who are not necessarily are mages, like in my case. Yeah, I'm not really a mage. I just like some of the schools. Let's go ahead to the skills and open the restoration. Okay, Restoration has one main tree, much like in lockpicking or in any other magical school, and has 5 deviations, which we're going to discuss in many detail. Okay, let's just go ahead and start. We have Novice Restoration, Apprentice Restoration, Adept Restoration, Expert Restoration, and Master Restoration. Each one of them cuts the usage of magicka for these spells by half, allowing you to cast them for more, longer, or just much more often. Okay, so as you go through the restoration school, you will want to, if you want to focus on this school, you will want to improve the spells, you want to improve the skills, and just go further and further and further into that. I have to say, as I'm just using the restoration just to heal myself, I don't use it for anything else. It is enough to have novice restoration, and just some of the deviations are very strong, and there's nothing else you really need as a warrior. For example, you don't need to go in depth of restoration. You're not going to use it as much. I mean, if you want to use it, of course you should go towards it. So we have 5 deviations. Let's go ahead and talk about Respite first. That's one of the strongest spells in the Restoration, which is applied to Restoration itself, and it's very useful for warriors or assassins. So Respite as such allows you to restore not only health with healing spells, but also stamina. So as you gasp in after the combat, you will want to restore your stamina as well, because you just want to have stamina to do power attacks. It's very simple, and it allows you to restore your stamina, but without changing the cost or anything. So essentially, you transfer your magicka to be health and stamina at the same time. Very nice, very effective. Now we go ahead towards, gosh, it's uncomfortable. Regeneration. It's another deviation. Healing spells cure 50% more. Basically, since for anyone who's using healing spells, especially for people who don't go in depth of the restoration, they want their healing spells to restore a lot of hit points and really quick, right? Such as myself. I just, instead of going to Apprentice Restoration, Adept Restoration, Expert Restoration, instead of decreasing the cost of the restoration, I just go ahead and use the Regeneration. Healing spells cure 50% more. Basically, even though the magicka is still very valuable, right? And I still waste a lot of it, I heal 50% more, and that's all that matters to me. I don't need anything else. Then we go towards the Necromage. All spells are more effective against undead. The 3 major parts of Restoration School is healing, turning of the undead, and the wards. Okay, the second part, let's say the turning of the undead, all spells are more effective against the undead. Okay, if you want to use Restoration School in order to turn the undead away from you, to force them to flee or to hurt them, you will want to improve the Necromage. Let's go ahead to Novice Restoration and go to Ward Absorb. Okay, wards recharge your magicka when hit with spells. Wards are this kind of magical shields, magical barrier, which you use to protect yourself against incoming damage. Okay, damage can be now physical or magical. Now, whenever you fight with mages, your ward will be able to absorb the enemy spells. You will want to catch them to absorb this magicka in order to reinforce your own, in order to have the ward lasting for longer, because ward is the type of spell which you have to channel, and it consumes magicka as long as you channel it. It's like, it's actually a lot like a shield, but it consumes magicka as you use it all the time. It's very effective, of course. It's very strong kind of shield. Then we go to another deviation, which stands for recovery, which has 2 steps, and in total it's gonna, each step gives you 25%, in total it's 50%. Magicka regenerates 50% faster. Again, this one is universally really useful. Even if you don't want to heal yourself with the restoration magic, you should get enough just in order to get this recovery, because recovery is 50% free magicka regeneration. Even for me, the person who's not a mage, and that I don't even use the robes, my mana regenerates so fast that I don't have enough time, let's say, to use it. So from recovery we go to avoid death, which is unbelievably useful for any class, but especially for warriors who just practice healing spells just to heal themselves every little once in a while, all the good stuff. Once a day, heals 250 points automatically if you fall below 10 25% health. Now you have to remember, once a day, we're not talking about real days, we're talking about days within the Skyrim, right? And you have to remember, if you use fast travel often enough, the day is gonna pass really quickly. So it's very useful spell in general, just to have it, useful perk just to have it. And then we have another deviation, the last deviation, called Restoration Dual Casting. You will be able to cast all the spells in general with both hands, of course, yes, but dual casting is something else. It's when you combine the same spell into much more powerful version, which heals more, absorbs more, or turns much stronger undead away from you. Then we have, yeah, I think we discussed everything. So, yeah, that is it. That is it. Let's just continue to the spells. I'm just gonna go ahead and equip this one. So what is this? It's a healing spell. Now, I'm gonna talk, to save time, I'm gonna talk about how to level it up and to how do they work at the same time. So I'm just gonna put myself right here so it looks a little bit better. Yeah, cool. Now, the restoration spells, the spells like healing, you use them in order to heal yourself. Very simple stuff. And they don't improve your skill by not even a little until you're actually hurt. In order to improve your skill by using the spells, you have to be hurt. You have to restore actual health. I've tested it, that's how it works. You have to restore your health. Very simple. So you have to actually use your spells when you need to. If you want to improve your restoration spells through healing, restoration skill, I'm sorry, through healing, you should use the healing every little once in a while, whenever you're hurt. You just a little bit hurt, just go ahead and heal yourself. You've fallen off the cliff, go ahead and heal yourself, provided you're still alive, of course, but yeah. So this is one-handed casting. You can cast with both hands, whatever you want, and this is dual casting. Dual casting combines one spell into much more powerful version, which heals faster, stronger, and everything. It works with every spell, and in general it's much more effective to have it. This is heal other spell. You use it to heal other people, to heal your companions. You can again combine it, just go ahead and heal them. This way you can support your companions and practice your skill without even engaging in direct combat. Just go ahead and heal the companion. Perfect. Now we go ahead and select the fast healing. The fast healing works a little bit different from the normal healing. Fast healing, you cast it, you hold the mouse buttons, and when it's casted like this, in this ready position, just go ahead and use it. Go ahead and release the cast button in order to use it. We're gonna drink some mana potions in order not to be interrupted. You can again cast it with both hands, but it's much better with dual casting. It just restores a lot of health. In my case, even one such cast restores the most of my hit points. Two casts like this, and all my health is restored and I'm ready to combat again. Now let's continue towards, what would that be? I cannot say, this is the ward. Again, you can use ward. You can use it with one hand, with both hands, with any of the hands, right? It's like a shield, and notice how it consumes the mana as long as I use it. It's very effective, but it consumes mana very quick. You have to know what you're doing, you know, so you don't run out of mana. You can also use both when you want to survive some really strong attack, let's say, but again, it consumes mana very quickly. Else you stockpile on mana potions, and else you don't have enough mana. Where's my mana potions? Ultimate Magicka. 7. Yes, please. That's the stuff. Okay, now we continue to 5th. 5th puts this aura, which banishes the undead. It's very useful because you can put it in the crypt, for example, and just while it's around you, just go ahead, select the healing spell, heal yourself, and just go back to dealing damage. This way you can protect yourself, oh, excuse me for that, this way you can protect yourself against the undead. You can also, of course, use the dual wielding to do that, but, you know, it's again much more expensive, consumes most of my mana. And look at this, I'm improving the restoration. This kind of spells are improved when you just cast them. They're very costly though. They're probably not going to be so costly for a mage. For me, it's very, very hard to cast these things. But they protect against the undead, so they have their uses. So, again, to summarize, Restoration School of Magic has 3 main deviations from it. It has the healing spells, it has the, how do we call them? The ward spells. Where do I have them? Right here, I think. Yeah, the ward spells, which create a dynamic shield on the battlefield to protect you from damage. And it has the spells to push the undead, to scare the undead off of you, in order to have some space on the battlefield to do your thing. Okay, on this we're going to conclude this tutorial. I hope it was helpful. If you liked it, if you enjoyed the commentary, enjoyed the content, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It was great having you here. I hope to see you again in the next tutorial videos and in general in my videos. I hope you have a great day today. Thank you very much for joining. Have a great day and bye bye.